Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Beshear continues to show support for investments in eastern Kentucky. And officials want drivers to be more cautious while on the road for Distracted Driving Awareness Month.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:30 on Wednesday, April 10th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
And a good Wednesday morning to you, Olivia. We got 52 outside our studios right now. Visibility has improved a little bit, and some light rain continues to fall across a good portion of the Bluegrass State. 52 again in Hazard. We make our way toward Moorhead at 55, Middlesboro at 55. Over in Pulaski County, it is Somerset checking in at 57. Pikeville right now at 55. Here is the pinpoint Doppler radar as everything continues to track in this particular fashion toward the east and northeast. Some heavier bursts of rain. McKee back toward Danville, and this will continue to track up toward Stanton and eventually toward Moorhead and West Liberty, but Stanton back toward Richmond as we make our way through this half hour. Broaden the view out. There's additional moisture which will continue to evolve beyond what we see here, which means the unsettled pattern continues today through tonight and into tomorrow. So for today, mostly cloudy. Showers, a few scattered thunder showers on a forecast high later today, up to 73. You're going to like the timing when we get back to the sun. There's a hint of a chill before then. Details with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. One person is dead after a crash in Wise County, Virginia. Troopers with Virginia State Police are investigating that crash, which occurred just before 2 a.m. Tuesday night. The man, whose name has not been released, was driving on US 23 when he went off the road and struck an embankment. The 55-year-old man was taken to the hospital where he later died. A Claiborne County man has been charged in connection with the death of his wife. Special agents with TBI and the Claiborne County Sheriff's Office launched an investigation into the case last week. Benjamin Hobson was charged with criminal homicide. His wife, Lori Hobson, was found dead at a home in New Tazewell. Benjamin Hobson was served in Claiborne County Jail since he was already there due to other charges. A Wayne County man is in jail after he reportedly led police on a manhunt. Yesterday, officers were called to a home on Daisy Way just off Kentucky Highway 1275. They were called due to a reported domestic violence assault. After leaving the home, multiple police agencies were called in to find Richard Baker. They eventually found him in a grown-up briar patch next to the Tradeway Shopping Center in Monticello. April is Distracted Driving Month, and police in Kentucky, along with AAA, are stressing the importance of paying attention on the road. According to AAA, around 3,000 people lose their lives each year due to a distracted driver. AAA also lists Kentucky in the top 10 states when it comes to percentage of fatal crashes caused by distracted driving.
It's not what a lot of people think. It's not speed related. It's not driving under the influence related. A lot of those contributing factors that these officers are finding when they're investigating it is just plain driver inattention.
Before driving, you can do things like putting the phone away, setting your navigation system ahead of time, and asking your passenger for help if possible. Yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear vetoed House Bill 5. That's the so-called Safer Kentucky Act. It came on the last day of the veto period of this legislative session. House Bill 5 is a sweeping criminal justice measure that creates harsher penalties for several crimes. But opponents have claimed it essentially criminalizes homelessness. The governor said the bill didn't consider financial impact and indicated it would lead to higher costs for incarceration. Kentucky lawmakers returned to Frankfort on Friday when they could override the governor's vetoes. Governor Beshear has also taken action on the state's budget bills, issuing line item vetoes on both House Bill 1 and House Bill 6. These bills outline crucial funding allocations and have undergone scrutiny in the legislative process. Governor Beshear was in eastern Kentucky yesterday, making stops in 2 counties to celebrate with communities. After visiting Floyd County for 11 new higher ground homes, Beshear made a stop in Pike County for the ribbon cutting of the brand new Pikeville Senior Citizen Center. The center was funded by a community development block grant administered by the governor's Department for Local Government. Pike County Judge Executive Ray Jones says this is just the latest example of Governor Beshear's commitment to eastern Kentucky.
Governor Beshear has really delivered for the people of Pike County and eastern Kentucky, in my opinion. And this senior center would not have been possible.
Jones says the center should be ready to open in 3 weeks. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has applied for a RAISE grant to widen a portion of the Hal Rogers Parkway. The $30 million grant aims to enhance safety and connectivity on a section of the parkway near London, widening it to 4 lanes. The application is currently under review by the Department of Transportation. The goal is to eventually widen the entire parkway between London and Hazard. Applications are now open for LIHEAP's spring subsidy cooling component. LIHEAP officials say the applications will be accepted on a first-come, first-served basis from April 16th to May 31st, or whenever the designated funds run out. The component provides households a one-time benefit ranging from $38 to $200, depending on income levels and housing category. To learn more about this, you can contact your local Community Action Outreach office. The Commissioner of Agriculture is set to make an appearance in Somerset later this week. Jonathan Schell will be the keynote speaker at the SPEDA Work Ethics Seal Luncheon on Thursday. In a release, it says the event recognizes high school students who meet specific criteria related to work ethic and soft skills. The event is set to begin at 11:30 a.m. One East Kentucky works to connect community leaders with an industry investments that could change the landscape of the Eastern Kentucky workforce. Its leaders met in Pikeville yesterday to discuss how to make that happen. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more.
I think Eastern Kentucky is primed as an opportunity that's ready for industrial development.
The Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce hosted a Lunch and Learn Tuesday, inviting local leaders to hear from One East Kentucky's president and CEO, Colby Kirk.
We're kind of a think tank for economic development in the region.
From discussions about ongoing developments to the dream of more businesses planting their operations in the region, Kirk says Eastern Kentucky people have been moving mountains to overcome the impact of job loss throughout the last 15 years.
I hope that a lot of our local communities realize the importance of having skin in the game in economic development. Companies don't just come knocking on the door.
He says there are leaders on both the county and city levels who are devoted to economic development. And where the manpower is not available, his team steps in to help because it is an all-hands-on-deck effort to bring the region into tomorrow.
And our area continues to see higher levels of unemployment and persistent poverty. But I think that if a concentrated effort was made to incentivize jobs and investment in this region, that we would see both of those numbers decline.
Kirk says in most cases the interest is there, the infrastructure is there, and the ideas are there. But there are few business incentives to convince industry experts to choose the mountains over the rest of the Commonwealth.
My hope is that state officials can take a look at our state incentive programs and create programs that are more equitable for all parts of Kentucky, including southeastern Kentucky.
So he hopes the organization can keep doing its job until the region has more jobs. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
You can see more about the mission of One East Kentucky and its partners on our website. And still to come, artists in California are working for more protections from AI, but this time in the state legislature.
We've got light activity outside on this Wednesday morning. Could be some heavier action as we head into tomorrow. Details with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up right after this.